Hey guys, welcome back to Free the Moms. I am so excited because I have a client with me today. And for those of you listening to the podcast, we actually shut our Pink Friday sale down, and my team doesn't even know I'm doing this, so they're probably going to kill me. But we are going to extend it just for podcast listeners. So if you do not get into the January 2026 cohort during our Pink Friday sale, by the way, do you guys know what Pink Friday is? It's so cool. Small businesses have taken back their day. They had Small Business Saturday. They realized it wasn't really working for them because everybody had bought everything by that time. So they took over Pink Friday, which is the Friday before Black Friday, and we're doing the same. So we are offering our absolute best sale that we have literally ever done in the history of the Yummy Mummy. So if you want that, if you know you want to lose weight for the last time and you know 2026 is your year, go to lauraconley.com/pink, get on my calendar, or just sign up for the cohort. You will get the best deal we have literally ever offered. And the cool thing is that we are not going to be doing as many, maybe it's not cool for you, but it's cool for us as we are expanding and becoming Free the Moms. We are doing significantly less cohorts. We used to do 4 or 5 cohorts per year. We are going down to 2 cohorts per year. So you will not have another chance to get in and lose weight for the last time until July or August or September, something way far away. So go to lauraconley.com/pink and get your booty in there. Let's lose weight for the last time. This is going to be your year. It is your turn. You deserve this. Your family deserves a happy mom. And that is why we're going to talk to my client, Erica, today, because she has literally transformed before my eyes, all of our eyes, everyone in her cohort. And it was just totally magic to watch. So welcome to the show, Erica. I'm so happy that you're here. Will you just give us a little introduction of who you are, where you are, and a little bit about your quote unquote before?
Yeah, hi, I'm so excited to be here. So I'm Erica Breeze. I'm a Yummy Mummy alum from April 2025. So just finished up. I'm based in Seattle and I have a 4 and a 6-year-old. And so really the before was weight wasn't a huge part of my life. I could manage it sort of on my own. I was really active. But I would say over the last 10 years, it was just my weight was slowly creeping up, that 1 to 2 pounds a year, which isn't noticeable until it's been 10 years. And then suddenly you're like, what happened? Who am I? And I just didn't have the tools. I tried Weight Watchers for a very brief period of time, and it just I couldn't do it. I'm not that kind of person, and I didn't have the tools at all. And so that is what has led me to start this journey, and it really changed my life.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Okay. And this is a weird question, but why did it suck for you? Why was gaining 1 or 2 pounds every year like a problem for you? What did that feel like? How did you feel in your body? And then how did that trickle into other areas of your life?
I think at first it felt fine, right? It's a small amount. I think towards the end, having 2 kids, I just didn't feel good. And I didn't feel like I would put on clothes, they wouldn't look right. I'd have to size up or they feel tight. And I was like, why can't I get a handle on this? What is wrong with me? And I think I was really internalizing a lot of it and making it a personal thing of this has not really been a huge problem in my life. And now it is. And so I think
there must be something wrong with me.
and that spills into other aspects of your life. If you don't feel confident in your clothes, you feel like you have to buy clothes at a different size and always be like, oh, this doesn't fit. Got to get rid of it. I think that it wears on you.
Yeah, yeah, because there's this subconscious or subliminal messaging going on in the background of you suck, something's wrong with you every time you get dressed. Right.
Right.
It's not necessarily, for some of us, it's very loud and obtrusive, but for others of us, it's just kind of like this whisper in the background that's just like, you suck. What's wrong with you? This didn't used to be a problem. Like, you must be broken, which I know sounds dramatic, but a lot of people feel like that's the voice inside their head, which is so sad.
Yeah. Or you'd look at pictures, like I would feel okay. Then I'd look at back at a picture and be like, oh, like that was a problem. So I think it's just wanting to like be really like excited and confident about myself and really truly looking for tools because I didn't feel like I had the tools.
Yeah. So that was actually what was going on, right? It wasn't that you were broken or something was wrong with you. It was just that you plain and simple didn't have the tools.
You didn't have the tools. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And just like eating less,
Yeah.
that's not a tool. That
That's so good. I love that. Yeah. Not a tool. Okay. So tell us about how you found the Yummy Mummy and like why you decided to have this be the tool that you tried.
Yeah. So what really kicked it off is it was in the back of my mind. GLP-1s were, this is earlier this year, becoming really mainstream. And I kept being like, is that the easy button? Like, should I just like do this? And I was interested in it, but I was like, is there another way? There's side effects. And is there another way before? Should I really try to solve this on my own? So I randomly got a referral to YMX or the Yummy Mummy Experience. And I actually just like followed Laura, you on social media for like, honestly, a few months. And I don't know, it was like one of those like, just like spur of the moment, booked a call. And I think I just hit it. And I think the cohort started the next week when I just kind of like jumped in. I think if I had known more, I might not have done it. So it was one of those just like,
Let's go.
let's just do it. I don't really know what I'm getting into. Just go do it.
Yeah. Oh my God. So you really did take a leap of faith.
I bet.
Oh my God. So what do you mean if you had known more, you might not have done it? Tell me about that.
So I think I've evolved in my thinking, but if I put myself back, the thought of the no sugar, no flour, especially the no flour, was like a non-starter. Like it was just like the thought of being able to do that. Could I change my life? Could I take that on? And I know that's not even like you say, you can do it without that. Like you don't have to do it. But like that kind of mentality of like elimination, I think really scared me. And so had I known that and I really like been aware that was part of the process, I think I would have been like, this isn't for me. But I'm really glad I didn't.
Oh, okay, you guys. So just like close your ears for that part. But she's right. I mean, you don't have to do no sugar, no flour. You can lose weight for the last time eating sugar and flour. I think it's just a little bit harder. And I think that we think that it's harder to give up sugar and flour than it actually is. Can you just speak a little bit to that actually? Because I think that was really cool for me to watch you. I'll never forget like your face when you were like grappling with whether or not to give up flour. So just talk us through like your experience with giving up sugar because you did sugar first and then you're like, maybe I should do flour too. And just talk us through that, what that was actually like for you, because I think it's helpful for people to hear the people that are like, there is literally no way.
Sugar was always like, I could envision that, right? Like sugar, I don't have a sweet tooth. I can envision that. And that one I could get behind. It was the flour. And that just, I could not imagine going to Friday night dinner with my family and not like having pizza. I couldn't like envision in the morning eating eggs and not having a piece of like whole wheat toast. And because I couldn't imagine it, and I think because, and this is probably one of my favorite things about the Yummy Mummy process, is the flexibility. So when I started, I said, I'm not going to pull this out. And I'm going to do, I think, one flour a day. Like I'm going to allow myself, but just kind of monitor it and be aware. And it had to be whole grain. And I started there. And then it was really slow of every day. I'd be like, do I want to use it now? Like, do I want to have this piece of like whole wheat toast in the morning with my eggs? Oh, it's fine without it. Mm-hmm. And like, oh, I'm going to go to pizza with my family. Like, I'm just going to eat the toppings or I'm just going to order this big salad. And then it was fine without it. And I think it was that slow just process over a few weeks of experimenting, seeing what life was like the other way. And I'd say I did the same thing with intermittent fasting, which had never been on my radar before as even an option. But it was the same thing of like, oh, let's just try. Let's see what today looks like. That doesn't mean you need to do it tomorrow, but let's see if you wait 30 more minutes to eat, another 15. What does that look like? And how does that feel? And I think that's the difference here is that it's not regimented. It's not do this and then this will happen. It's do what works for you and find that sustainable and that matches your body composition and your likes and dislikes. Like that's made the difference for me.
Oh, that's so good. That's so well said. Yeah, because it really is custom. It's really not a one size fits all. And I love that you contemplated doing GLP-1s too, because I think that most people do. Like you said, it's so mainstream. And it's like, it's such a good tool. Like the GLP-1s for the right person, it's a great tool. We have so many clients that are on GLP-1s or have been in the past and they wanted to come off them and they knew that there was more work to be done. So I love that you were like, okay, let me just try this. And now, do you think you would ever try a GLP-1 now that you lost all this weight? Or do you feel like this was the toolbox you needed?
I think this has been the toolbox I personally needed. I'm lucky in that I always had a really strong fitness routine that I've maintained throughout this. So
Yeah.
I have that working for me. And then I think I really just needed to reframe how much you need to eat in a day,
Mhm.
what hunger actually feels like. And this took longer. I would say this has been, we are now 6 to 7 months in, but I can really tell the difference when I'm hungry because I'm actually hungry versus when I'm hungry because my blood sugar has spiked or something else. And I think learning some of those differences are the tools that I personally needed. But I was looking to lose 10-ish pounds. So it wasn't a huge amount. I've doubled that. So clearly
I'm
there was
so
more
excited
there.
to celebrate that. Yeah. How much weight have you lost?
22 as of this morning.
Oh my God. So exciting. Yeah. More than you ever thought you would. And that happens a lot, actually.
Yeah, I think, yeah. So I'm not looking at the GLP-1s as a tool for me right
Yeah.
now because I do feel like, at least at this point, I've been able to use the protocol you create in YMX and just the thoughts and the exercises around that to keep
Yeah.
the momentum going.
Yeah. For a lot of people, you can use the Yummy Mummy as a complete toolbox because for a lot of people, you can eat in a way that supports your hunger hormones, which is what the GLP-1s are doing. So you can do it, quote unquote, naturally, organically. And some people can't. And that's like, okay. Again, it's whatever works for you. And there's no judgment and there really is no shame. It's just like what we're just testing it. We're like totally scientific about it, which is so foreign because so many of us have had so much drama around weight and making certain things mean things that they don't actually mean. Yeah, that's so cool. Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you. Okay, so a lot of people, I can just hear in the audience be like, 10 pounds? You paid $5,000 to lose 10 pounds? Because this comes up a lot. People like, we get people that want to lose 100 pounds and people that want to lose 5 pounds. And to me, it's like, yeah, but it's about the feeling. It's about the confidence. It's about how it trickles into all the other areas of your life. How did you get yourself to spend 5K? Was the investment an issue for you? Talk to us a little bit about that, which I know is a touchy subject. Like, as women, we aren't trained to talk about money and investing in ourselves, but I do think it's an important conversation to have. So,
I would say the financials, I still am shocked that I was willing to invest that kind of money in myself. And I'm fortunate to be able to even have that conversation. But I think I was so unhappy. And it wasn't, this was one piece that felt safe, but I was like unhappy in other areas of my life as well. And this felt like one that it was safe and I could draw a box around and I felt like I had some control of.
Mm.
And I did. And I think it's taught me that like you do sometimes need your hand held. And yes, it maybe was 10 pounds, but I think that was also like a protectionism thing of like, well, I don't need to lose a lot of weight. So if I lose 10 pounds, I'll be successful
Mm.
versus letting myself dream a little bit bigger,
Mm.
like setting an artificially like easy goal. So I think the investment was, it was a surprise. Again, it was spur of the moment. I'm just going to do this. And now in retrospect, I look back and I'm like, of course, the return on investment is so good. I mean, Laura, I think I've shared with you when I told my husband I was doing this, he just recently, we were talking about like how amazing it's been for me and just like everything. And he was like, when you told me you were going to do this, it was the first real conversation we'd had in a long time. You were so unhappy. And I think that was like a really good reminder to me that like I am important. And that permeates so many places.
Oh, so true. And there's such a transformation available to a lot of us in just signing up. It forced you to have a real conversation. It forced you to be like, I'm important, I matter, even if all of you wasn't on board with that idea yet. It was the first step in like, I matter. I'm allowed to be on the list. I'm allowed to invest in myself. Like, I'm worthy of that, which I think is like just really powerful. And like, you should definitely be, we can definitely celebrate that because that takes a lot of courage.
Yeah. And I think that, like, I always try to remind myself now of I can do hard things
Mm.
and that this wasn't inevitable. Weight loss isn't something that you just snap your fingers and it happens. Like every step, every moment was choosing to make a different choice and
Mm.
choosing to approach something in a new way. And I think that's what I've found in other places, that kind of different mindset of like, if I can do it in one arena, I can do it somewhere else.
Yeah. So what you're talking about is like, you basically took an inventory of like your happiness or you audited your happiness and you're like, I'm so unhappy. And because of that, I'm willing to invest a lot. The hole is deep. And so I'm willing to go there. And I think that's like an important thing to talk about because does your pain match your bank account? Does your pain match your calendar? Your problems should be on your calendar. They should be reflective in your bank account. I mean, if you want to solve them. If you don't want to solve them, fine. But if you do want to solve them, if you do want to be happy, if you do want to be confident or whatever it is that you want in your life, I think it's a really beautiful wake up call, actually. Like, hey, I say that this matters to me, but like, does it actually matter to me? It does take courage to be like, yeah.
I remember thinking, I'm the one who's going to have to solve this. Like, this isn't going to come to me. I have to take control. And I think maybe that gets into like the willingness to invest
Mm.
is I'm going to have to take control. And what I'm doing is not working. So I probably need help. It's like kind of that asking for help too aspect
Yeah.
of it. Like, I had paid attention to what I was eating and tried to make a change for close to a year, and it wasn't working. So I needed something else. And you can find free videos on the internet, great. But at a certain point, I needed that hand holding and I needed someone to make me do something different. I was never going to give up flour on my own. I needed someone to say, no, actually try this.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's like a really an act of strength and bravery. But I think a lot of us are walking around thinking we should be able to do it on our own. And we think that's like, we think that's a strength when really getting help is like, that's a strength. It's to be able to like, no, I need help. I want help. And like, why are we making it so hard on ourselves when there's an easier option? Like, do you get a bigger trophy? Do you get a bigger medal? Like, if you did it all by yourself? No, you don't. And it's more fun also to do it together.
Yeah.
I'm like so unwilling to do anything by myself at this point, especially things that are a little bit harder, like giving up flour. Okay, you said something earlier around like, if I can do this, maybe I can do this. How has the skill set that you've built, or how has like this result that you've created opened up possibility for you in your life?
Yeah, I think there's a few, I'll say like Laura-isms that I put in my head. And I think one of them is really like kind of around the time. Like you will achieve what you need to achieve on the right timeline. And that is the right timeline for you. And it's inevitable that you will get there, whether it's 6 months, 12 months, it doesn't matter, but the right thing will come. So I try to always remember that's one of those pieces that I've taken from the weight loss side and brought to other aspects of my life.
Mm. Yeah, like the when is none of my business. Like if I just keep showing up, it'll happen.
So I think that's definitely one element.
I will.
And then another is just the confidence in having done something that you can kind of do it again and that you just need to keep showing up and keep driving it forward. And that some of that thought work around like, you're the one who could make this decision. And so just keep moving forward, even if it's a small amount at a time.
Okay. Erica, talk to us a little bit about, I know you've shared a little bit about your hubby, but tell us a little bit about the ripple effect of like you getting healthy in your life.
Yeah, it's been amazing. So my husband has also lost 10 to 15 pounds, which is sort of ridiculous because like men just lose weight more easily.
Yeah.
So we can put that aside, but he's really starting to focus too. And his is really on sugar. Like I guess I said something that Laura, you probably said around like only eating when you're hungry. And like, if you're not hungry, why are you eating? And I think he's really internalized that. And I've noticed changes and, he has made big strides. And then my dad also has he kind of observed the change and he's now getting more into weight loss and trying to focus more on himself and his health. So I think that's just like these, like you said, the ripple effects of having done this and showing that it is possible.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that. It's so fun when you just inspire people by just doing your life. I love that. So cool. Okay. And then what was something surprising about this program for you?
So I think the first, and we touched on this a little bit with the no flour, is that like while there is, and I think it's called the menu, like while there is a menu and there are aspects of it that, Laura, you really strongly recommend, there is so much flexibility in this program. And the creation of what works for you, coupled with, I think it's really important to always remember, it's coupled with so much else, so many other ways and exercises to change your perception of what is going on. I remember being at a birthday party, like a kid's birthday party, and store-bought cupcakes. Every single parent is having a store-bought cupcake. And it was suddenly so easy to just be like, nope, not for me. That is not worth it. I want nothing to do with that. And then just to move. Whereas before you'd have that. So I think that's what surprised me most is, yes, there is a food aspect of it. There is you should do these things and you can pick and choose. And there's kind of a food piece, but then there's also this like mentality and this changing the way you think piece that you really need to couple together.
Yeah, and it's surprising when you're like, because it's so hard to believe, right? Like you're gonna be at the party and you're just not gonna want the cupcake. And you're like, what? And then you get there and you're like, shit, she was right.
Yeah. Or like at your in-laws' house and they made a funfetti cake and they love dessert and like you're gonna upset your mother-in-law and you're just like, yeah, not for me today. And it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Exactly.
No one actually really cares. And I'm not going to say I'm perfect on this. This is something that I think you continue to practice. And maybe that's another thing that surprised me is that like you mess up, right? Like you mess up all the time. You eat when you're not hungry.
Yeah.
You just have to like, every day is a new day. That's another Laura-ism.
Yes, exactly. I know because we are all so conditioned with this perfectionistic mindset, which tells us if we make one little mistake, we should throw in the towel and quit, which is just hilarious because that's not going to get us that takes us in the opposite direction. So funny. Okay, so what would you say to somebody who was like you a year ago, who was struggling, who wasn't feeling confident, who didn't have the tools? What would you say to them if they were on the fence? They're like, I want to do this, but, and then whatever. What would you offer to them?
I would offer that just try it, because what worked for me isn't going to work for you. What worked for everyone else in my cohort, we all look different in what we did. Some people went all in on intermittent fasting.
Mm-hmm.
Other people ate at 7 a.m. and
Yeah.
everyone figured it out. So I would say just try it and try each piece. You don't need to jump in 100% at the beginning.
Yeah.
Come up with something, experiment, see what works. I found that, like, for me, I like rules and flexibility, which sounds weird, but like I like rules. I like the you don't eat sugar, you do a 16-hour fast. But I also really value the flexibility of, okay, we're going to go out to breakfast. So you know what? You're going to do something different today. And that's okay. And you have the, like, I don't know, I feel like I keep saying tools, but like
No,
you
but
have
yeah, it's right.
that you can change and you can pivot and you can go out to dinner, or you can, like, just this week, I was going to a hockey game and I was like, oh, I don't want to eat any of the food there. It's all so unhealthy. And I reminded myself, you can always find something. And two, just eat before you leave. Not going to change the experience. No one cares.
Yeah.
And I think it's like those kind of things that you're like, oh, wait, just experiment. So that's what I would share is, like, if it feels too much, it feels scary, it feels like you can't change your life, you can. It's just little baby things, just like an inch at a time. Every day you can move a little bit closer into that direction.
Yeah. Which our brains hate sometimes because our brains like, I just want to lose these 22 pounds or 50 pounds by yesterday. But you already tried doing it that way. So you have to do it inch by inch and show yourself it's possible. I love the hockey game example because I remember thinking, what's the point of a hockey game? Like, the point is to go eat the junk food. And it's like, no, the point is like, watch the game, be entertained, have fun with your family. And those experiences, at least for me, have gotten so much more rich because it's not about the stupid soft pretzel. It's actually not even that good. It's really like life has just, it's like in Technicolor now. Not that it wasn't before, but it just has expanded in the most beautiful way because the focus is on what I believe the focus should be on and what I know I'm going to care about when I'm on my deathbed. I'm not going to care about the soft pretzel at the whatever hockey game. I'm going to care about like laughing and enjoying it with my friends and family.
The other thing is flexibility to choose when something is worth it. Like, I'll never forget, I went on a girls' weekend, like relatively early in our cohort, and there were aspects of that weekend where I would, like, we went to a tasting menu and I was going to eat it all. And that was fine. And I wasn't going to worry about flour. I wasn't going to worry about sugar.
Yeah.
And then to come back from that and not feel like I had to, like, over restrict because I was bad, but just to, like, take that in stride, have made that decision, and then start the next day with the regular food. I think that's another thing that's really important, that not, like, over restriction, or indulge, that, like, flip flop. That's another thing that I try to remind myself on.
Yeah, that's so well said. Yeah, that's exactly right. I love that. And you went abroad too, right? Didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, and how was that?
So we went to Europe during my YMX cohort, and it was relatively early, and I feel like I had all this angst, like, do I weigh myself when I'm there? Do I get a travel scale? And I didn't, because I was like, it didn't even occur to me to do that. And I'm not going to do it. And I actually lost weight over the trip. I think I lost like maybe 2 or 2.5 pounds. And it was a very much of a both and experience where I want to maintain the protocol, right? Like, I'm not going to, like, throw in the towel. But at the same time, I'm also not going to restrict myself unnecessarily. So like if we're
Yeah.
gonna go to a fancy European bakery, I'm getting a croissant
Yeah.
and I'm gonna get a croissant.
Yeah.
But I think it was also a lesson in like what really matters. Cause I remember thinking to myself, like, oh, I'm gonna have hotel breakfast one morning. Cause like that my kids love it. Like the hotel breakfast, like they
Yeah.
love it. We had free breakfast at our hotel.
I love that.
And like one day I ate it and one day I didn't. And then the day, like I remember thinking later, I was like sitting there and eating, drinking a like lovely coffee and enjoying my kids, like love the breakfast buffet. Same experience as like eating it as well. So I think it was just like really experimenting with like what was important to me and what wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree that, yeah, experimenting. My kids love the breakfast buffets too at the hotels. And I like actually love having just like my coffee while they do that because there's so much going on. Like they want me to cut their fucking pancake and then they need to go back up there and then and it's like and then I have to try to eat while doing that. I know this sounds ridiculous to some people, but it's too many things. It's like it's easier for me to be present with them and then like later in the day be able to like sit down and enjoy my whatever burger or whatever I'm gonna have for lunch. You know what I mean? And so sometimes I think it's fun to like ask yourself, maybe it's how is it better? Like, anyways, I don't know. Okay, tell us a little bit about like dreams, plans, goals. Now that you've freed yourself from all of this and you do weigh what you want, like what is your next thing?
What is my next thing? So part of the YMX is setting yourself goals. And I just hit my year-end goal.
Which is
Wait.
amazing, you guys.
Yeah.
It's November 13th right now. That's
Yeah.
so exciting.
So I hit my year-end goal and now it's kind of like my final goal where I was like, okay, I want to get this. And so now I'm changing into like more of a professional goal and trying to use the tools and use the having a goal out there, having basically a protocol. And like Laura taught me how to do this of having like the things you need to do to achieve that goal and switching my mentality towards that. And towards switching, I've already found like in my journaling practice, you know, when I say like what went well today, I try to do both. Say what went well with food, but also what went well as you're trying to capture this goal.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to pull that forward and pull those pieces forward. So that's my next big thing of how to take this. And I'm like interested to see how transitioning from like a really big weight loss mentality to a maintenance mentality, how that changes the dynamic. And, you know, I'm not planning to make any changes to food. And so just curious to see how this kind of journey continues.
Oh my gosh, I love that. It's so great. What's so interesting as you're talking is just noticing how calm you are around this. And I think that's really fun because I think a lot of us, we either love goals or hate goals, but most of us still attach our worth to whether or not we achieve them. And what I think, at least for me, what's been really healing is like goals can just be for fun. It can just be, and it can just be like a marker, like to help me have the life that I want to have. And I don't have to use it as like a stick to beat myself up with. They literally can just be like a container actually, but I don't have to measure my self-worth or my value against whether or not I get X goal by X date. It's all a learning opportunity. And I just see you talk about this next professional goal and there's just a lot of peace because you don't seem very graspy. And this is what's been so awesome for me is I'm not as graspy around like the how or the when. It's just like, no, I'm just going to take this next step, see if that works, keep going, take that next step, and trust too that it will happen if I just don't quit.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I totally cured myself of the perfectionism. I like grades. I like to be told I'm doing a good job. So I do
Yeah,
think
it's still like a gold star, but it's like, how can we keep that? Like,
yeah.
we can celebrate and also just not freaking hate ourselves and berate ourselves when it doesn't go perfectly.
I think it's that also mentality of one step forward. Eat the one step
One step
forward and that it will work out. And that trust, I think it's like that trust in the future and the trust in yourself. But I will say one of the other things I found is setting mini goals, setting a goal for a week or a month to hold yourself accountable. I'm finding is really validating
Yes.
because it plays into that like
Yeah.
rule follower grades piece of things.
So true. Yep. It's so good. I love that. Okay, let's end with this question. How would you describe the Yummy Mummy in one word?
Life changing.
Oh, good. Love that. Kind of two words, but I'll give it to you since it's life changing. Okay, thank you so much, Erica. This is so helpful for so many women who are like, is this right for me? Should I do this? It's really can't tell you how many women have told me that they've signed up because they've listened to somebody else share their story and it's just like theirs. So if you guys want results like Erica's created, go to lauraconley.com/pink and we'll get you into that January cohort. Thank you so much, Erica. I'm so, so, so grateful.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, bye, everybody. Have a fabulous week. Ciao, ciao.